All right, guys. Base Muslim, base Fula, Blue Hefner, aka the one that modern women, feminists, simps, um, conscious community, and liberal progressive Muslims love to hate. So I was doing a live stream yesterday, and one woman, I'm pretty sure I assume she's Somali uh, by the sounds of it because they throw around this word a lot. Um, was basically she was talking in circles. What she was doing was she was saying like she first said that Muslim guys commit more fornication than Muslim women, and then she said that Muslim women practice the religion better than Muslim guys do. Um, then she goes on to say, that my followers and myself are incels. So I was wondering, like, which one is it? Do we commit fornication often, or are we incels? And the double talk continued, and then she wouldn't mention her, uh, her, which we're not supposed we're supposed to think the best of Muslims, but anybody who says like calls other people incels, it's usually an indication that they've been on the carousel. Um, and so I kind of just want to go into the difference between like being an incel and being someone who abstains, who decides, who took it upon themselves they're going to abstain because they know the consequences of what happens if they do not abstain. And one of the consequences, which is happening a lot of now, is that you may sleep with a woman, yeah, and then that woman turns around and sleeps with another guy, and then that guy, you know, for whatever reason, maybe you're a higher caliber guy, but you know for certain that you wrapped up, you know for certain that you use protection, she will still say, "Hey, this is your kid," when it's really the other guy's kid. And the thing is about that is there is a lot of paternity fraud. So um, that's that's something I don't want to put myself in. I don't want to put myself in that situation. And I hate to say it, but like across the board, they do it. Of course, I notice it's with the beat ups the most, but everybody across the board does it because they feel that because they can get away with it, and the way it's set up is that it is set up for them to get away with it. Now, I want to like go into something basically that was brought to my attention. Um, um, the thing is that like when you look at the dictionary meaning of an incel, it's basically a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are sexually active. Self identified incels have used the internet to find anonymous support. So the thing is about it is like, me being a boxer and me just being like, just having like, I guess you can say, like, I get it from number one, Islam, and what's instructed of us in Islam to be. Like in Islam, as a man, you're not supposed to be like gossiping. You're not supposed to be like so talkative. You're not supposed to be talking like just about mundane things all the time. You're not supposed to be doing that. So, by me taking heed to that, and by having like having very few words to say, like outside of the internet, you know what I mean? Um, it, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm really not trying to brag, but like I can give examples of women who have been sexually attracted to me. I'll give you an example. Um, I'll give you an example the other day that happened, but I simply brushed it off because I was like, I'm not into it. But there was like this one girl, I think she's from, I don't know where she's from. Maybe she's Pacific Islander or something. But I was in the gym, and of course, the gym is a damn thirst trap, you know. But when I was doing my workout, she just straight out came in front of me and started splitting her legs wide open, doing all these flexibility things right in front of me, to a point where she was seeing if I was looking or not, which I in return wasn't looking, you know. Um, Another instance was in a restaurant where I was basically ordering some food, and uh, this one woman, for whatever reason, you know, was eating some cake, and she proceeded to get the icing from the cake and stick her finger into her mouth and was like sucking on her finger, looking at me. So sexually attracting women is not an issue for me at all. And I'm not trying to like sound arrogant or anything like that. But the fact is, like, I don't act on it because I know what happens when you do act on it. Because I'm seeing it play out firsthand with a lot of people. I can take like many TikTok stories right now. Um, another incident that happened to me, that I dodged the bullet, was there was this one stripper who, and this is when I was, when we were still, when Nipsey was still alive, and I was still in that neck of the woods. Uh, and a lot of people don't know that Nipsey, even when he was doing his thing, he even took. There was a short time where he took a vow of celibacy, even with all the tours and everything like that. Like, he even took a vow of celibacy before, you know. Um, a lot of people don't know that, but and here's a man who was actually at the zenith of his chosen art, so of course he can attract any woman he wants, you know what I mean? But he still chose that vow of celibacy. You know, he shared that with me actually. Um, Now, uh, what happened when I was in that area was there was a stripper, and she even said like, and the crazy thing is, she saw me even coming out of the mosque. But you know, the mosque was not in the best area. It was on Florence Boulevard, you know, and if you know Florence Boulevard, you know everything goes down on Florence in the Hyde Park area. You know what I mean? But what happened was, she actually said to one of the my friends, like, she was like, "Yeah, I would smash your friend." You know what I mean? And he told me, he's like, "Yeah, she said she would hit," and I said, "No, I'm good. I passed." You know. And then I found out like later on that she had chlamydia. You know what I mean? So it's not about an issue of like not being able to sexually attract women. You know, that's never been an issue for me or people I'm around. The issue is what happens if you do sexually attract them and you decide to act on it. What the guy? Because the thing is, the modern woman these days, you know, she doesn't use um the S word as a reward. She in essence uses it as a ransom. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is that, you know, while she will like give it up to a certain guy for like free, right? There's consequences that may come with that, that, you know, people, that dudes don't be really ready for. You know what I mean? That's why you see, for example, like, when you see single mothers, which are a lot, you know, you see a lot of single mothers in the West. Yeah, I'm not gonna even say it's just bound to B dubs. You know, at this point, it's not even just B dubs who are single mothers, right? It's it's whatchamacallit. It's it's across the board. For example, you have that one woman who hates on passport bros. that one Asian Karen, the Korean Karen. Like she's a single mom. You know, she's like 35 years old. I think she said she was. She's a single mother. Um, you have tons of Casper Karens on TikTok who are single mothers who will throw crocodile tears. You know what I mean? Because they tried to lock down those dudes who said, hey, you know, just because I did want to sleep with you at the time, I wasn't ready for what's going to come with that. You know what I mean? But you expected me to be ready for it, you know? And so, what I mean by that, you know, um, what I mean by that is just basically that, you know, the woman thought that, hey, I'm gonna lock down this dude, um, and so, you know, um, like it doesn't work. It usually doesn't work out. You know, it usually doesn't work out in the way that the woman wants. So, I want to like say something too. That's I want to kind of just break down the differences. Like an incel, you know, will walk around and just have this mad hatred of women. You know, to the point where they may like hurt a woman, right? Or they may hurt other people because of their hatred for women, right? No, don't get it twisted, okay? I'm not advocating for hurting anybody, but seeing how women, like for example, seeing how women are if you're not the type of guy that they want to approach them, right? That's why a lot of guys have stopped approaching. I kind of see why they have this anger, bent up anger, because women will straight out tell you, "Oh, you're ugly." Um, Even one woman said that like a guy who is ugly doesn't deserve to have any opinion or any questions or any kind of viewpoints. You know, this came from a Muslim woman as well who said these things, right? So, like when you're dealing with that point of view, then they usually lash out on people. But you know, there's people like me myself. I decided I wanted to go into monk mode, and the reason why I wanted to go to monk mode is because I wanted to focus more on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture for me is like marrying abroad. You know, for the simple fact that like it's you know Muslim women here and non-Muslim women alike are just so lost in the sauce that they're not going to change. You know, in the Quran, I'll read the verse real quick, you know, and that's why I took heed to the verse, you know, because at the end of the day, um, before I read the Quran, well, actually, let me read this verse first. You know, hold on. Okay, all right. I'm gonna read it in Arabic first, and then I'll read the translation or I'll read I'll read the Arabic and then I'll read the transliteration. You can't really translate the Quran. You know what I mean? So it says like A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahim. It says lahu mu'aqibatun min bayna yadahi wa min khalfihi yakfatunahu min amrillahi inna allahu la ghayru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayru ma bi anfusihim وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ وَمَا لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ مِن وَلِيٍّ. So what that means is that um um indeed Allah will not change the condition of a people until they can change what's in themselves. And when Allah intends uh people ill, there is no repelling it. And there is not for them besides him any patron. So with that being said, right, it goes to that point of like stupid games equals stupid prizes. You play stupid games, you're gonna get stupid prizes. So like when these women ride the rooster carousel, right? And then they expect a dude to like who was on the square, who was doing what was necessary to thrive, who was doing necessary what it was necessary to progress, who woke up every day and got it, even when he didn't want to do so, to expect that guy to want to settle down with them, but then label him an incel if he doesn't, because he doesn't want like that baggage, then this is pretty obsolete. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. And the point that the woman holds no weight at all, you know. That's why I was confused with that Muslim woman. She was so lost in the sauce that, you know, like on one instance we commit zina more than women do according to her. On another instance, we can't attract women. You know, we can't sexually attract women. So which one is it? You know what I mean? Because like you're not talking about yourself, you know what I mean? You're not calling yourself pure and practicing. And that doesn't sound like a pure and practicing Muslim if you're accusing other people or guys of being incels. Sounds like you've been around the block, actually. You know, sounds like you're Jenny. It sounds like you fit that song. I'm still Jenny from the block. So the thing is about like Islam, a marriage is a quite simple thing. You know, a marriage is a very simple thing in Islam. You can literally get married in Islam like in like 3 days. You know, if you really wanted to get married, you can get married like in 3 days in Islam. It's just that like because like a lot of the Muslim women have bought into the Hollywood and the Cinderella story of marriage, marriage is now like quite difficult. Um, $150,000 for maher, and they're talking basically. It's like if you're paying that much for maher, you better be getting a hori straight from paradise. You know what I mean? So, another thing about like actually deciding to like ignore Western women, deciding not to even like bother with Western women, decided deciding to have a stoic exterior, right? And just like I guess you can say a gloomy type face and an emotionless type face, is that you save yourself the drama that comes with dealing with them. Because for a lot of times they're attracted to drama, you know? And part of you changing your condition is actually having the mentality that, hey, you know, I don't want to settle for what's over here. I can get something better somewhere else. You know, and your whole intention shouldn't be to like go abroad just to find a wife. Your intention should be to go abroad and to thrive, but still find a wife in the process who's going to help you thrive. You know what I mean? So that's all I really wanted to talk about, the difference between the two. Because I'll say, like, for example, like, I'll give an example of like an incel. Like, an incel would be like someone like these dudes shooting up schools. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they were like the odd ones out, and you know they couldn't really. It was hard for them to attract women You know what I mean? But like a guy I would like to give an example of who's, I guess you can say, your prototypical like Sigma male who could easily have his pick of the litter with women, but decided not to and decided to commit to one woman, and probably had judging by interviews and just judging by how women like try to brush up on him and stuff like that. Um, he could have had his pick of the litter. Um, uh, Khabib Nurmagomedov, like he would be your prototypical dude who could have his pick if he wanted to, but decided not to. You know. Now that's another thing that you will also encounter too is women will women will brush up on you. It's happened to me a couple of times as well. Like there was this one woman who had like she kind of had like some. I was in Santa Monica at the time, and I was just basically waiting in line to um, purchase some shoes. And basically, like what she was doing is kind of like just like low key trying to rub up against me, like, and so I just kind of like scoot over to the side, and by me doing that, she kind of got the hint that like, yeah, I'm not having it. Um, Now I'm not saying this path is easy. I'm not saying this path is easy. Um, as a matter of fact, one of our great teachers, by the name of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, um, Rahmatullah alayh, he actually has a poem about that. Let me see if I can find it. You know, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so there's a poem by Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. It's called Kun Katiman. And basically, what that poem consists of is that he basically said, I'll read a little bit of the translation of the poem. Or actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to save this poem for a live stream. I'm not going to read it yet. I think I'm going to save this poem for a live stream because it's real powerful. It's like, in this poem, it's a lot of gorilla biscuits, basically. There's a lot of gorilla biscuits in this poem. So I'm going to save it for a live stream instead. But with that being said, Fula signing out. I hope y'all got the message. And one more thing. The companions, may Allah be pleased with all of them, they had like sexual access to their women because of the simple fact they were pious women. And for the most part, most of the women back there made marriage easy. You know what I mean? And that was by the Prophet alayhi salatu salam's instructions. You know what I mean? Because the companions, they were able to take care of their women. They had the means to take care of their women, so the marriages were facilitated rather easier. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here. I didn't mean to go that long, but let me know in the comment section if you think that like my message made sense. Just let me know if you think so in the comment section. But anyway, full of signing out. It's still SYS and B. Save yourself, Muslim brother. And I'm off until the next one. Injara.